Welcome back to the Packers Draft. Mark Daniels now inside the visiting media center where the visiting head coach and players come after ball games with Tim VanVooren of Fox 60 in Milwaukee. Tim, welcome aboard.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having me on today.
You've been around a long time. Ted Thompson, the Silver Fox. How foxy is he this weekend?
Yeah, very interesting to see. You know, there's so much conventional wisdom every year about what you think the Packers are going to do. What makes the most sense, Mark? And does he usually follow it? No, he doesn't play to the crowd at all. I'm curious to see, very curious to see what the Packers do. I think when all is said and done, they end up addressing needs in their defensive front seven in terms of quantity. But do they do that in round one? Do they do that in round two? How do they get that done? Do they make some moves? There are teams that have this glut of picks that I could see the Packers trading back into very easily at some point.
Okay. Yeah, everyone thinks inside linebacker, defensive line. Those are the things that have got to be addressed sooner rather than later. But what if there is another defensive back? What if there's speed on the outside of wide receiver? I mean, we had no idea really who Demarius Randall was going to be. Certainly we had no idea of a Justin Harrell back in the day. He will find a player that he ranks higher than everyone else may have anticipated.
Absolutely, and who's to say they don't go offensive line and pick for the future right off the bat here, Mark? You just don't know. I agree with you last year. I really didn't know much about Demarius Randall. And then if you look at the draft class, you got some solid contributors out of that group, even in their rookie season. So Ted Thompson and his scouts, his staff, definitely have a good track record. So much focus, on the defensive line. I went through 25 mock drafts,
Really?
Relatively respected mock drafts, Mark. 21 said Packers will pick defensive front seven, and that was spread over 10 different players. It could be anybody under the sun. But then if you look at Ted Thompson's defensive line choices in the first two rounds as the GM of the Packers, he's picked 5. Raji, Harrell, Dayton Jones, Jarrell Worthy. What are you really getting there? Mike Neal as a defensive lineman. So maybe there's talent there, but does he hit there or does he usually hit later in the draft?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and find out. One other thing. This draft exercise has become monstrous since we came on the beat.
Absolutely.
What's happened?
Absolutely. Well, it starts with the combine, right? You go to the combine,
Yeah.
I go to the combine. That thing is just mushroom like anything under the sun. And here we are spread out over 3 primetime type situations, getting all